warm welcome, viewers, and thank you for tuning in to the NILEcast Weekly News Roundup only on West Nile Television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's the 2nd of September 2024. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines throughout the week. During the 2 days regional health sector review mission, that was from the 11th to the 12th of September 2024, co-hosted by both Yumbe and Arua Regional Referral Hospital in Yumbe District, stakeholders raised concerns over the rampant understaffing in most of the health facilities in the West Nile region at large. Oraco Benson Pastore reports.
During the 2 days regional health sector review mission from 11th to 12th of September 2024, co-hosted by both Yumbe and the Regional Referral Hospital in Yumbe District, different stakeholders such as health personnel, political leaders, partners, academia, cultural leaders, developmental partners, media fraternity, among others, raised concerns over the rampant understaffing in most of the health facilities in Western region at large. Amaga Bernard, senior health educator in Arua City, laments on inadequacy of human resources at regional referral hospitals, which is still at minimum standard.
Human resource gaps in the regional referral hospital, specifically our Arua regional referral hospital is doing badly. The human resource is below the standards, below the recommended levels. This hospital was elevated to the level of the regional referral hospital in 1996, but up to date the staffing level still stands as that of the general hospital, which is quite low, looking at the fact that the population is increasing and is serving 13 districts and it's already within the city. So our appeal is that these human resource gaps in the hospital needs to be addressed as quickly as possible. We are calling for development partners, the ministry, the government, and the political will, all those who are concerned to really advocate for resources so that the human resource gaps in this regional referral hospital is filled.
Ale Kujeri, Laboratory Manager, Yumbe Regional Referral Hospital, says at Yumbe Regional Referral Hospital, they operate at 14% human resource level.
As the Yumbe Regional Referral Hospital, we operate at around 14% human resource, the staffing level. Majorly, the wage was given to the Regional Referral Hospital, the wage, we received the wage. And the recruitment is in process, but it is very slow. And the recruitment is not a one-time activity, it takes a longer period of time. Therefore, the few that we are to receive from the ministry, they are not coming. And the ones who are supposed to come also end up going to other facilities.
Honorable Dr. George Didiboka, Chairman in the Committee of Health in Parliament, highlights the public on the schedules of human resource recruitment in health sector.
I've had a tripartite meeting with the Minister of Finance, Minister of Health, Health Service Commission and the Public Service Commission to see to it that we fast track recruitments. We know by end of May, work plans and budgets are approved. Between June and July, we expect the accounting officers to seek for clearance from the Ministry of Public Service. Between July and August, we expect advertisements to be put up on the newspapers, people who would like to apply to submit their applications. And by October, we expect that staff should be interviewed. And by November, appointment letters should be issued at the latest. By the time we go for Christmas, staff should be able to their salaries. And in that way, we will be able to save wage instead of the recurrent every year losing wage by the money being swept back.
According to the statistical report, Western region health sector still operates at less than 20% in human resource, which is still far below the minimum.
Moving on with our stories this evening, activists working towards the protection of the environment are calling for joint efforts in order to ensure the safe environment. Activists raised these concerns during a stakeholder engagement on human and environment justice organized by MEMPROW Uganda, a non-profit organization, at Tropical Suites Hotel in Arua City. Take a look. With the current changes in climate witnessed globally, activists working towards the protection of the environment are calling for joint efforts in order to ensure a safe environment. This comes at a time where man's activities have been greatly identified for having played a great role in destroying the environment, for instance, through cutting down trees. According to the activists, to protect the environment from destruction, there's need for mindset change so that people can desist from the practices that are likely to harm. Jania Burita, Minister of Education and Sports under Luke Barakari, attributes the continuous destruction of the environment to minimal implementation of the laws that guard the environment.
The law has in itself been very clear. As many people have actually said it over and over. Uganda as a country.
Senior Superintendent of Police Chiriga Taban, Regional Environment Liaison Officer, blames the limited efforts to implement the laws to inadequate manpower and resources.
Challenges are numerous, but notable is stakeholders. Some stakeholders are not ready to support, but still we have to engage them in how they will support us. And then the place is wide. It's wide. Manpower issues, but however, we are ready to partner with the other security forces and we are able to implement a government policy.
Mustafa Girima, an activist who is championing the protection of Shiana tree species, calls for the mindset changes towards the usage of alternative source of energy other than depending on wood fuel.
If we can't change, then change will change us. The issue of the trees being used to make charcoal, which of course is for our betterment, livelihood, is to say rather an issue that is a thorn. A thorn in the sense that, yes, we are cutting down naturally germinated trees to produce charcoal. But we don't think of planting trees that we can harvest for the charcoal. So once these trees are finished, because I understand once you clear these trees and the way we cut them wantonly. It's like a wanton destruction of the trees. So once we clear them, where do we go next? Where will we get the charcoal? So this calls for us to come up with alternative sources of energy. Let me use the simple term, alternative sources of means of cooking.
Similarly, Mary Jaru, a senior environment officer with Arua City Council, called for efforts to effectively manage garbage.
And at our household levels, everyone is responsible for their waste. When you generate, ensure that you be the one to take charge. But to me, for us all here, the challenges we mentioned here, if an organization can take interest in waste management, take on that one. Let's find a solution to that challenge. Because as a resident, I will not be proud to say, or fear to say that we don't have resources to manage all these very many challenges you were looking at.
Sheila Apini, the Northern Region Program Coordinator working with Action Aid, is of the view that women are most affected by the effects of climate change.
They are young women. Again, we have women that are persons living with disabilities that are severely impacted by the climate effects. We also have young mothers. And so, in the year 2021, we saw a rise in teenage pregnancies. In this region, particularly, data has that we have so many young mothers. And so this was escalated because of the COVID period when the children were out of school. And so we have a problem to deal with. And now the young mothers do not have alternative sources of fuel. And so when we get to the forests,
the activists raised these concerns during a stakeholder engagement on human and environment justice, organized by MEMPROW Uganda, a non-profit organization, at Tropical Suites Hotel in Arua City. Parish Majid, Okumuringa Christine, for West Nile Television, Nilecast. More in our stories, the government is set to close Karoma Bridge by Monday, the 23rd of September for at least 3 months to give way for the government to carry on with the repairs of the bridge. According to the Minister Katumba Wamala, the government has provided the second ferry at Masindi Port to help connect the northern Uganda to central and western Uganda. Stephen Okello reports.
Before announcing the closure of Karoma Bridge, General Katumba Wamala, Minister of State for Transport, was taken on the bridge to assess the level of the...
Now the team, as you can see, is prepping every part at the middle of the bridge to ensure that the temperature is still standing. But as you can see, in some of the spots, you can see the leakages. So if you see the leakages, that means that the water is coming all the way from the top. And that means even the bars which are there have already corroded.
Then he announced that the bridge will be closed for at least 3 months.
We are permanently closing this bridge, permanently, so that we can give these people enough time to do work. Because now we are not only going to replace what you have seen down there as rotten things, but we are going to replace the top. The whole of the deck is going to be replaced so that it is made more safer to avoid those kind of leakages which you have seen down there. We are also going to improve on the safety. We are going to put more strong materials to ensure that if tomorrow you veer off, God forbid, if you veer off, then you just bounce off and bounce back.
Saying China Railway 7 and National Enterprise Corporation of UPDF are the two companies contracted by government to implement the repairs of this important bridge which connect northern Uganda to central Uganda.
We are also going to put lights on the bridge so that people cannot say, I didn't see, I didn't know. Maybe some people may be using the road for the first time. So we are going to put lighting. We are going to improve on the approaches a bit, not so much, but maybe clearing some of the approaches and also putting better signage as you approach the bridge. So what we are going to require now is the cooperation of everybody.
According to General Katumba Wamala, government has provided second ferry at Masindi Port to ease movement of travelers from northern Uganda to central Uganda.
For people traveling from the north and those going there, what we have done now is to put a second ferry on Masindi crossing so that we can manage the traffic. We hope that that will improve, and also the approach route, the approach road is going to be improved. It's going to be worked on to ensure that what has been happening with vehicles getting stuck there will not happen again.
Local traders around Karoma Bridge are asking government to provide them with a speedboat to enable them move their goods from Karoma Trading Center in Kirandongo district to Kamdini Trading Center in Oyam district.
The growth of this bridge is going to bring to us a lot of problems. Now, there's no way we are going to pay this loan. I was appealing to the government whether they could get for us this motorboat, the one which uses the engine. They could put for us up there and use for crossing coming up to business. I think we can get something to pay our loan. But if they totally close, I think we are going to be a big problem now.
Meanwhile, the transporters are wondering whether the ferry service will be available in the night, since most of the travelers like moving in the night.
We the transporters, are we going to be given the chance or opportunity to move in even at night from the Masindi port? How about the big lorries that will be carrying about 50 tons and 20 to 30 tons and above? What are the solutions to them? Are they going to still be allowed to board the ferry with all the tonnage and everything?
They are also worried if the ferry service will also favor the heavy truck drivers.
Are we going to offload the luggage from the bus, then the bus process without the luggage in the ferry? Or we are going to leave the bus the way it is, all the people that disembark and we cross with the ferry? How about the big lorries that will be carrying about 50 tons and 20 to 30 tons and above? what are the solutions to them? Are they going to still be allowed to board the ferry with all the tonnage and everything?
The 61-year-old bridge that was built by British government, which was meant to serve for 50 years, will cost Uganda over $7 billion to repair. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, Nilecast.
During the budget consultative meeting for the financial year 2025-2026 held at Hotel La Confidential, organized by the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Planning.
In order to enhance better service delivery across West Nile region, different stakeholders across different districts in West Nile region have raised challenges that hinders better service delivery and best strategies that can be laid to address the challenges for better service delivery in the region. This happened during the budget consultative meeting for financial year of 2025/2026 held at Hotel Le Confidential, organized by Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Different district leaders across different districts in West Nile region have raised the issues that have become barriers for better service delivery in the region and some key pending gaps, therefore requesting the government of the Republic of Uganda, more especially the sector of Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, to respond to the above issues.
President Museveni, he's a liberator. I want to appreciate him, he's a liberator. He liberated the Terego by giving us district. So the districts not have a tarmac road that will connect us to other districts. And he very emphasized that with the money which will be given, the 1 billion, we should not open roads that are leading to our homes. We must open the roads that are connecting us to markets. And if the main road is very poor, and we connect the roads that can lead us to the markets, what will be the benefit? We have institutions deep in the villages without the poles. Take our voice as West Nile. We want poles to reach the rural areas which are real rural. We have secondary schools in these rural villages. We have markets in the rural areas. We have health facilities in the rural areas where there are no poles. Let our voice reach. We need poles up to the rural areas.
Nile basin countries are working hard, for which Uganda is part, to revive commercial water transport, and the project is being called VICMED. This water transport needs a linkage. The government should speed up the connectivity of railway from Tororo, Gulu, Papach, and then the linkage of our airport in Arua is something that I become very emotional if I don't hear a mention about it, and then I become very emotional if I don't hear the linkage of very good road network along the Nile.
You cannot enhance salary after 7 years or 20 years because there is inflation, there is development. These people also must have good money. If parliamentarians who are only sitting and sleeping around the cabinet, how about my people here who are working in poverty in hard-to-reach areas? 500,000, 200,000, 600. What can 200,000 do? How much are school fees in good institutions in Uganda? How much are hospitals right now? To pay a bill of a child, even 2 million you may not pay. Therefore, the technical staff to be motivated to work and have the face of Uganda, they must have the right money in their pocket.
Honorable Evelyn Anite, State Minister of Finance, Investment and Privatization, is urging West Nileans to embrace ATM, which implements the aspects of agro-industrialization, minerals, tourism, ICT, science and technology to battle some of the challenges to enhance better service delivery.
These ATMs are agro-industrialization, minerals, tourism, ICT, innovations, and science and technology, technological advancement. So, which is a knowledge economy. Now, how does it benefit West Nile? When you bring it back home to West Nile has got one of the best fertile soils. And it has the soil that when we tap in from, move away from tobacco growing to growing coffee, which can earn for us a lot of money. We need that forex to come back here. West Nile has the best honey in the world. That people come all the way from Germany, from Austria to just come and take the West Nile honey. Tourism. Now, in the tourism sector, the West Nile benefits with the fact that it has the smallest church in the world. It has falls, like 3 to 4 falls. Mirador Falls, or Oluko Falls. All these falls here are in West Nile, and then we have the Ajay tourism center, tourism or national park or game park. So if we continue talking about this, and then Mount Wati, we talk about them, and we make people to come from the globe to come to West Nile automatically will benefit from the ATMs. Another aspect of the ATM is the mineral sector. So the minerals that West Nile has delivered is the untapped or unlocked opportunity of West Nile. So you look here, it's the first time that West Nile is talking about gold. Gold in Yumbe, gold in Moyo, gold in Zombo, and these minerals we need to be. We even have lime. The biggest lime deposit for making cement is actually in Moyo.
She further updates the public with the 9.8 billion Ugandan shillings that has been budgeted to compensate West Nile tobacco farmers.
We have put in a budget 9.8 billion to compensate the farmers. Okay? And Ministry of Finance put that money in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, we want all that money to be released because it was passed, budgeted, and it is there. And when money comes, they've told you verification has already started.
The budget strategy for financial year 2025-2026 is carried under the theme of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding services, digital transformation, and market access. Orak Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nightcast.
More in our stories. During the oversight visit by Parliamentary Committee on Climate Change, leaders have disclosed that the rampant land wrangles in the several villages in Greater Nebi are attributed to greed. Alfred Jawok reports.
In an interview with the press today, the Minister of Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, says that the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is coming to address the key issues hindering the compensations of those who lost their animals during the 2 decades of war in Acholi sub-region.
Because of the frustration of the claimants, the President has decided to have a face-to-face meeting with the claimants, not just their representatives, because some of the people making the most noise never lost a single cow. So the President is going to give a date, and he is going to meet the real stakeholders.
Mao also shared with the public some of the expectations after meeting the President, since he promised to meet all the war death claimants.
Number one, an increase in the budget for cattle compensation. Remember, financial year 2021-2022, there was some payment. Financial year 2022-2023, there was a budget, but no money was released. Now 2023-2024, this one, there has been some little release. So we expect that the government will add money. We require almost 900 billion to close this case.
After meeting with the President, claimants will be able to get answers for all their allegations of corruptions and delays of their payment.
The President will order a forensic audit so that the suspicions, the accusations of corruption, mismanagement, bureaucracy, unnecessary delays is sorted once and for all. We don't want the government to pay the price for individual mistakes. The bad eggs should be isolated and punished. We also expect that there will be transparency from those who are representing the cattle claimants, because it looks like even the claimants themselves are complaining against those who claim to represent them, their associations.
However, the claimants themselves expect the President to come out with actions, not stories, citing that most of the legitimate claimants have died before getting what they have been fighting for.
not about coming to tell people stories anymore. People want to see actions. The government must come. Attorney General, we have had all. Others came here, did all what they can do. They even died. This cattle has killed all many people from our Attorney General office. Whoever is playing with this is playing with his life. This should go in the record because the tears, the languages that our great-grandfathers who have died have talked about their cattle and the compensation is too much. And you see, the president is always very clean. He comes out and says, I have paid it. The money ends up with the lawyers, attorney generals, and budgets are always passed.
Others demand that the president should rectify the amount being given to the claimants by the government, as they express their dismay in the amount being sent to the account of the claimants.
Those who are sitting on the committee and they are very busy planning, I don't know the knowledge they got it from. How can you, and you have assumed that we are going to compensate this cattle at a rate of 1 million, maybe something like, and then for you come with argument, since this person has about 15 cattle, we are going to compensate him 300,000. Maybe that is a part of the cattle. What kind of agreement is that?
Mao cautioned all the claimants to prepare fully and express all their grievances to the president during that meeting. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, Nilecast.
As Uganda prepares and gears up for the upcoming general elections, women have been called to embrace the effort towards women and leadership in Uganda. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports.
The belated Youth Day celebration brought together the different youth across the district to share ideas on the common challenges faced by the youth across the district and find lasting solutions. Honorable Alero Tomaza, the Member of Parliament West Moyo County, advised the youth to avoid loose and reckless lifestyles characterized by gambling, being idle and disorderly, and drug addictions, which always bring them behind in terms of development, but rather urge them to embrace the 4 aspects of life, such as the love of God, education, sports, and being social, so as to link with others, saying this will make them develop as good citizens and be able to succeed in their lives.
I want the youth to live and stop loose and reckless lifestyle characterized by drug addiction, going for casinos, sports betting, playing cards, being idle and disorderly, gossiping, being lazy. Stop it. Otherwise, nobody alone and by himself alone can develop this world unless you commit yourself. And this commitment can come about when you also try to work hard in that regard. So therefore, today I call upon the youth generally to embrace 4 aspects in life. And these 4 aspects will make them succeed. One of them is the love of God is the beginning of wisdom.
Honorable Isaru Peter, the youth chairman Moyo District, said the Youth Council grapples with the challenge of little and insufficient budget, which has many times paralyzed youth council activities, and the matter is even made worse by the lack of transport to help coordinate youth activities across the district.
Apart from the conditional grant which government gives us 600,000 quarterly, the Youth Council does not have anything to support this. And this 600,000, as I go, me and the district youth finance and the female, we use this 600,000 to go to Soroti. And there was nothing in our account which is remaining to organize this type of day. We are just suffering. We are now working around to see how this day is celebrated.
Mr. Adidi Rashol, an aspirant for Youth Member of Parliament Northern Region, urged the Member of Parliament in the district to use their position as Members of Parliament to convince the government to increase the budget for youth councils, saying the money is so little that it makes most of the youth activities to stall.
The results released by YouGov indicates that the youth population is about 75%, and this means that the question comes back to us as we look at this population: how productive are we going to engage these young people to ensure that they contribute to the economy and also be self-sustainable? The youth chairperson talked about the issues of mega budget to run activities of youth councils. We're speaking about socioeconomic transformation. We're speaking about self-sustainability. Amidst a budget which is only 600,000 quarterly, what can this money do looking at the value of money this time?
The National Youth Day celebration was held in Soroti City last month under the theme Skills Development for Enhancement of Youth Opportunities. Meanwhile, the youth in Moyo District celebrated the belated Youth Day under the theme Youth Empowerment for Sustainable Future. Dominic Antonio Kumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories, parents in Ajimani district have been called upon to support their children with scholastic materials and send their children to schools as schools reopen for third term. Take a look.
Following the reopening of all schools in Uganda for the third term after the holidays, parents in Ajimani district are called upon to support their children with scholastic materials and send their children back to school. While speaking to journalists on 16th September 2024, Dimma Robert, the district education officer at Ajimani, said since it is the third term, which is the term that will promote children to another level of education, all children should be at school so as to encounter with the subjects.
It is, as we know, is a promotional term, and many things have to happen very fast. One is the parents need to really send their children early to school so that the teachers can catch up with all that they could have left as a clock in term 2.
Dima, however, calls on all the parents to make sure their children report to school early as they are looking for other things.
Of course, as we open, there is a need for the parents to support the children with the scholastic materials, support them with paying the contributions that they could have agreed with the school in time so that the school find it easy to manage the activities of the town.
Mr. Sokori Francis Patrick, the deputy head teacher, Redeemer Primary School, said the school have registered low turn-up of learners on the first day and appeals to parents not to delay the learners at home as they continue looking for some requirements like scholastic materials because normal lessons have already kicked off.
And so most of those who are absent today are those children who are staying within the school premises. And so we assume the parents are still preparing them and looking for those requirements that the school needs them to bring. And it's the reason why some of them are not present today. Yes, as soon as we open, we're not going to be waiting for those children who are at home. We immediately start off our lessons. And today, even the time you arrived here, you witness I was in the class. So we are not waiting for those children who are still at home. I appeal to the parents that they should hurry up and bring our children because what we have taught today may not be repeated in the next lesson.
That term officially kicks off on the 16th of September 2024, but majority of the schools in Ajimani district have registered poor turn-up of the learners, something which the stakeholders believe could highly result into poor performance of the learners at the end of the year and in the near future if it is to continue. Peace Oshaki, Ojima Alan, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. In Uganda today, most of the villages have at least good road network nearby the schools or health facilities to serve the people. But this is not the case in a town in Agago district, which lies behind the village known by the locals as the major route for Karamajong cattle rustlers, in which the cattle rustlers have been terrorizing the people of East Acholi sub-region for decades in a quest of looting cattle. Take a look at this mini documentary.
Kuluduong village in Lirakato sub-county, Agago North constituency, is one of the isolated villages which is far from schools, health centers, and this is the village without access road in Agago district.
Even if they bring nets from central government to this local government, those nets cannot reach here. Even we ask why, if we as people of Kuludwong, you know us that we are also a part of you people. Those things cannot reach to us people. Why? They say this village of ours, they are not yet known.
The inhabitants largely depends on traditional herbs in many occasions when someone falls sick. According to the villagers, shortcut to the nearby health center 3 at Lirakato sub-county headquarters is approximately 20 kilometers, but one must go through the rock Lapono Hill and about 40 kilometers on a fairly flat road on motorcycles. This village, with about 1,000 occupants, access conventional medicine from this grass thatch house, which belonged to Thomas Ojok. Thomas came to the village to raise his school fees after he lost his parents while he was at a clinical school in Gulud City.
I came here just to dig and get at least something to go to school as a nurse. So when I went to school, I came here, I dug like for 2 years. I saw how these people of this village were suffering. And the Kuludwong, in the actual sense, it has more than 1,000 population. So I saw how children were dying. I saw how these villagers were suffering medically. And I decided to come in as a medical personnel because, you know, as nurses, they fear staying in the bush. So as me, as somebody who is used to this environment, I thought of really rescuing the whole population of Kuludwong.
Thomas says he does his best, and in most cases he got incapacitated. Given his knowledge, he referred them to the nearby government medical facility.
And I thought of really establishing at least a first aid facility in this place, of which now these people call it a clinic, but in the actual sense it is not. They are now taking it as a health center, but it is a first aid facility just. So as me, I contributed much as far as medical department is concerned, because I give pre-referral treatment, I give first aid facilities, of which things like malaria treatment, I can do it, and other conditions that I can manage within the place. So I greatly declined the death rate of the place.
According to George Okot, the chairman Kuludwong B village, many has lost their life in the quest to look for a better health services.
The people dying seriously. For instance, last year, theoretically, the malaria shoot somebody. We carry, he died to that hill there. That big man, they died there because there's no drug, there's nowhere they're selling drugs. So that is our problem. So we are lacking drugs, we are lacking health center, all those things we need.
Lack of school in the area has interrupted the future of many young girls and boys living in this village, leading to a high rate of teenage pregnancy.
Here we have no schools. Also we raise, when these people they are on the campaign, we raise to them and we give them our concern that we need school here. They said, we are going to, if you elect me also, I will bring for you school. The term is now ending, no school.
This has made some of the villagers to lose trust, not only in their leaders, but also to participate in the upcoming electoral processes, saying year in, year out, they are electing leaders who are not representing them at all.
The most important thing that the community of Kuludwong needs is whoever comes and opens for us the road, that person will remain in power. forever. Because he'll be the only person who will be taking care or who minds about the community.
Today, they have the luckiest day when both of the district and the Member of Parliament drove through the pathway to come and meet them. And they are summarizing their situations in a drama play.
Maria,
Masas Akelo Beatrice Akori, the Minister of State for Economic Monitoring, who is also the woman member of parliament for Agago District, praised the ruling National Resistance Movement government for restoring peace and redeeming Acholi sub-region from various rebellions. Her praise to government is never a solution to her people at Kuludwong village.
This area where we are, people had left it many years. Way back before 1986, people were not cultivating here because of cattle rustling activities. It is only NRM government that has brought peace and made people to come and settle in this area. And that's why people of Agago vote NRM up to 80% because of this peace that has been ushered in by NRM government under the leadership of General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I'm really so grateful.
However, I'm also caught the Member of Parliament for Agago North constituency blamed the suffering of this community on the selfish interests of some of the top government leaders who are interested in the land.
These people are living as if there is no government in place because they don't have any access to any government services, including even Paris development model, which has gone to almost every parishes. They are not benefiting. There's no schools, there are no medical centers, there's no access road, there's no water points. So these people are living the way their ancestors have left them.
Nabilson Kidega, the resident district commissioner at Agago District, cautioned the leaders from the district to stop playing politics at the expense of these people and come up with the policy and action point that will save them from their situations.
For government entity to come and support, we call for well-wishers, so that at least a small, even a clinic, even a small small health center should be starting here. Even on a grassroots. So long, what we need is treatment. We can plan from the district. Some medicine are sent here. Special letters should go to Minister of Health, to Minister of Health, so that they support urgently.
As you move across the village, you will be able to see the lost generation of children, with several young girls pregnant. This called for immediate action from both government and in other well-wishers to come and help them. Stephen Okelo for West Nile Television, Nilecast.
That marks the end of the Nilecast Weekly News Roundup on West Nile Television. Thank you all.